artistic. Weirdly artistic.
Damn, that's weird. We're back with Nick, Jay, and Jose.
It's weirdly artistic. We're talking art.
We're talking weird and everything under the sun.
Weirdly artistic.
Damn, that's weird.
Weirdly artistic.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Weirdly Artistic episode 43. I'm Jose.
I'm Nick.
I'm Jay.
How's everyone doing?
Good.
Awesome.
Mural's gone.
Mural's
So
gone.
happy.
So we talked about it briefly, right? We were working for the Cascadia Pizza Coeur d'Alene, new franchise in Coeur d'Alene. They're expanding, and we just finished the mural. We've been working on it for about almost a month.
Yeah.
At this point, it
know
was
what to do
sent
with my
off.
hands right now.
I keep going back to this. And
Yeah.
I'm like, stop.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
up and down,
Yeah.
Danielson.
Wax on, wax off.
But yeah, we worked on it for about 3 weeks and sporadically just because we've had a lot going on this month. But yeah, we shipped it 2 days ago. It's off to
Yeah.
Coeur. It's in Coeur d'Alene. It's getting put
there.
up today, right?
Hopefully.
We may see a picture today.
We may see a picture at some point today.
Maybe
So that's
posted.
awesome. Yeah, it's nice to just send it off. We did a great job.
Yeah.
Got
We
it
nailed
done.
it. You'll see it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Boom.
There it is.
And yeah, so that's gone. At some point, we'll go back to Idaho to do a different franchise for another mural.
Another mural
and-
for the same franchise.
Well, it's a different building though, right?
True.
It's 2 franchise buildings under the same owner.
Which would make it one franchise, right?
Is that
One
really what?
franchise.
I believe so.
Franchised out?
I'm not
When
a.
you're
He's a
franchise.
franchisee.
He's a franchisee.
And
I
he
just
decided
I
to
always
spend this
considered.
amount.
I always just considered each location as its own
You
franchise.
buy into a franchise, right?
You know, you
Yeah.
own 2
Yeah.
franchises. I guess is like kind of how I saw it.
I guess.
You buy into
I own
a
40
You don't-
franchises.
if you
I'm
own
not
the
no lawyer.
no,
Yeah,
you
I know.
buy into the franchise or you own the franchise. I think
Yeah,
that's how
yeah,
it would
but
go.
I don't even know how that works. It's past our pay grade.
We're artists.
Yeah.
We're artists, so we don't worry about that. We hire people to handle that.
Numbers, people.
But now, yeah, mural's gone. Now we're moving on to just more
Back to editing.
back to editing, back to filming.
There we
We got a
go.
lot coming up this next couple weeks, honestly.
Yeah. Couple cool shoots.
So yeah, excited for all that. And
Some major revamps in the studio.
major
happening.
revamps. Yeah,
Major.
we're redoing everything actually. If
Yeah.
you think about it, aside from our
Besides
editing
our
bay
and then our
and
little studio here.
and this studio, but we're doing that side. We're redoing that side. We're
There's space over
redoing the
there.
entire room, turning it into two
Two
little vibes,
2 rooms.
2 rooms. Yeah, dude, it's
It's gonna be dope. Very
It's
dope.
gonna be killer.
stay tuned for that. And today we wanted to talk about Auteurs.
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 So
I'm an auteur. No, I'm not.
not yet.
Explain what an
yet.
auteur
Not yet.
is.
Well, I think the auteur is someone that it's a director that you know exactly who it is based off of their style of directing and moving,
Yeah.
right?
The individualisticness of the way they go about to create their
Right.
film.
And I mean, as a director, there's great directors, but if you have your own style and it's easily recognizable by the general public, like you are an auteur. That is,
And I think there's like a power group of people that are like that,
Mhm.
and then there's a few below it that are like, if you know
up
movies,
and coming.
you're
Almost.
like, no, I'd even say like there's like 3 to 5 that are everyone knows. Everyone.
Okay, yeah.
The
I
casual
get what
viewer,
you mean.
And
I
then
get what you're
like
saying.
there's a few where it's like, okay, definitely know who this is.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah.
like a above average watcher, basically.
yeah.
And then there's the few if you're like an expert level watcher where it's like
You
these
pick
guys
up
are,
on the little things.
yeah, these guys are coming up. Like, I see what you did there.
Yeah, exactly. So today we wanted to explain to you guys what an auteur is, the history of auteurism, and the future of
Possibly,
auteurism.
yeah. Our guesses.
Our guesses, yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean we can't know the
We'll never
future
know.
projects that are going to be coming out from
Never know.
from the directors that we have now. But let's start with the history. Nick, as the
I get to
most
use my
learned degree, yeah.
I get to use it again. That's twice.
You went to school, yeah.
That's
so
twice. That's awesome. So in my 5 or 7 years of film, I get to use my degree twice. That's great. First off is Hitchcock.
Hitchcock,
Yeah, the man invented a lot of things.
the father of auteurism.
Yeah, basically. I mean, I'm sure there's arguments on who actually was, but I would say that this is like everyone knows, like Psycho.
For me, it was Vertigo.
Yeah, you remember Vertigo.
Yeah, Vertigo. I think was the one Hitchcock.
The Birds, which a lot of people were scared of, which is pretty crazy.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I guess birds freaked him out. But anyways,
Bailey.
Yeah. Seriously.
Don't show her the birds.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was quite scared in Mexico with all the birds flying around.
The birds were bigger than normal, though.
Yeah, dude,
gotta give her that.
Yeah, there were some big ones.
Ones.
But they were, they're vibing. They're just
just
chilling.
birds,
They were
bro.
just chilling. No, like I mean, people were like, we were
Asking for food.
feet away from them. It was
just give them one good.
But when you have bad experiences,
Yeah.
it's understandable.
It's traumatizing.
Mhm.
It's traumatizing. Yeah, so Hitchcock, he was kind of the first to throw in. Well, first off, he got a toilet in, which is cool.
Right.
The FCC was like,
And-
no.
Yeah, something we've mentioned in the podcast before, but
The FCC controls like what's shown on screen, what is viewed to the public. Everyone knows that. That's just how it works, which we've gotten pretty open nowadays with what's shown on TV. We got TNT and all that stuff.
There's
But
a lot.
the people back then were like, we can't show swimsuits, we can't show toilets, like nothing, bathrooms, like we don't need to show that stuff. It's like a private thing. But then Hitchcock was kind of like, well, I like spirals, so I want to put a shot of the toilet draining to foreshadow the blood draining down the drain for when she dies. And so Hitchcock was kind of the first of like, okay, I like spirals. I'm going to just use these all the time.
I like spirals.
And that's where Vertigo came from. You got the spiral in there. And so he's always kind of incorporated like the spinning or the spiral.
And if you haven't seen Vertigo itself, and you have seen that 70s show, they do an episode where a lot of the characters get vertigo and they'll show them basically spinning on a spiral.
Yeah.
So
And
like
they're
it's
doing the
basically
Kubrick
the
trick.
shot from Hitchcock. So if you haven't seen
Or,
Hitchcock,
Hitchcock.
so that's
Hitchcock.
that's one of the that's why I remembered Vertigo. I'm like, oh, they basically just copied that from Hitchcock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Hitchcock was kind of like the first of, whoa, okay, I recognize who this is.
Yeah.
But next was Kubrick. I'm sure, again, there's probably more in between all these people that
But these are the most prominent
people
and
that
remembered.
also that have affected the industry in a way.
Yeah.
This, Kubrick was late 50s to early to late 90s. So like that was his run. Hitchcock was literally probably 40s to 60s, maybe 70s. Like I can't remember when he died, but they're very, very early on filmmakers. And so for them to set aside and say, like, okay, this is how I want to do it. And Kubrick is the one that decided, I want every single thing in the shot to mean something. Like every single thing in the shot. Like down to the carpet. If you watch The Shining, there's like tomato cans that reference certain things. Like every single room, it goes down to like what's on the shelves of what's in there that represents something.
That's movie making today now.
Yeah, and that kind of links into like Denny and Jordan Peele and those guys. But yeah, Kubrick is
they were
really
the pioneers of all of this.
Everything means something in the shot, which is super cool. And he also was very much like not an inventor, but a huge user of very difficult camera movements.
Okay.
Like the parallax.
Well, yeah, you said he kind of introduced it in that way, right?
I'm sure like people were messing with it. I feel like it's really hard to claim like inventing something like that, But I feel Kubrick was like the first to successfully use it in a way that it represented what he was telling, but also like the feeling that the viewers should be getting. So it's like a double. Kubrick was brilliant. Psycho, but brilliant.
Psycho.
I'm a psycho.
What do you want?
The child mentioned a check.
Who's next? Tarantino?
I'd say Tarantino, because I mean Kubrick ran up until 80s, 90s, and Tarantino really started it. Was it 94? Actually, yeah, Tim Burton.
Tim Burton was same time as Tarantino.
So
late 80s to
so
now.
I think. Well, we can talk about Tim Burton with Wes Anderson because they're very similar styles, but contrasting each other. So yeah, Tarantino
and Scorsese, I think, fall in the same because of their also their ratings.
Yeah,
they're always rated R. Like almost should be rated higher. Like they.
Well, I mean, yeah, Tarantino loves his violence.
The feet and violence. There's an interview with him with someone, I can't remember, like he was at a movie premiere or something, and she's like, "What's with all the gore?" And he's like, "It's fun, Tina. That's why. It's fun." And then he just like stands up and leaves.
Oh,
like,
I saw that.
It's like, damn, dude.
Jeez.
He's kind of a weirdo too.
Yeah,
Another psycho.
yeah. They're just like really
Gotta be
quirky
right like
people.
that.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, you have to be quirky to really find like what you like your style and what you like.
Or to stand
right?
out too.
Yeah.
But Tarantino is very, I feel like, shot based.
Oh,
what
yeah.
we were talking about,
Mhm.
like the way that he either replicates shots, or he's like a hard zoom. You know, he slaps people with it, like
Yeah.
very Western, which I think is.
Well, I
super
mean,
cool.
westerns really have a huge influence in all of his movies, really,
Yeah.
for the most part.
I'd say most of them,
Yeah, like
besides like the first two. I can't remember what it's called. Saints, Boondock Saints.
Boondock Saints and Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, it's one of those two. I think it's Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs.
That one's more of like a
Movie.
Italian gang. Yeah, it's like a gang.
Well, it's like a heist. Like, yeah, Italian heist
Yeah.
situation.
What's his face is in it? Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I think he's more of a like the camera work style
Yeah.
of auteur. Like that's
And you guys mentioned that he basically takes the shots he wants from his
Other
favorite movies and
or shows or
yeah,
whatever.
and then
Yeah.
just reinvents them almost to fit the
they're
narrative.
Shot, yeah, they're
Oh,
shot
like
for shot.
shot, but they just put them in. He puts from other movies all in these
Right,
different orders,
yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, I could use that shot from this maybe," and then
Yeah. And he
Yeah.
just like places it in there.
Just splices it all
Uh-huh.
together.
Once Upon a
beautifully.
Time of Hollywood. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is the best example
Mhm.
of that, because like they show all of Rick Dalton's playbacks too from when he was an old actor,
oh,
and so like basically how he's using it is that Leonardo DiCaprio is playing Clint Eastwood. That's the story.
Yeah.
And that's a theory of mine. It may not be true, but
Confirm it, Tarantino.
yeah, is it? I mean, he goes and makes this. It has to be, but they show like his old reel when he's talking to a director, and most of the shots are shot for shot retakes of like old films,
Damn.
very popular old films too, and it's public use at that point. So it's
Uh-huh.
like,
Well, I mean, even they talk about in the movie, they use a clip from one of the westerns that they are taking the reference from.
yeah,
If I remember correctly,
I can't remember.
it's
but yeah.
I think there's a scene when they're at a hotel and they're watching a western, and it's one of the westerns that like
Oh, it's it wasn't actually that was Logan.
I think so.
That was Logan. They were
Yeah.
watching Shane
Yeah.
from the 50s.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's super cool when you just sort of like, this is what
They just slap it on there like
Yeah.
here.
this is what this movie's
Yeah.
based on. Like it's Shane, that's dope. Scorsese falls in that same auteur, I think,
Mhm.
of the gore. First off, well, not gore, but I would say like vulgarness. Like
Yeah.
Wolf of Wall Street. You know, he
Oh,
goes
yeah.
all out. What else has he done? And
yeah, he's done a ton.
I mean, he's done
I
a
can't think of it right now.
the
It's like
latest
he's
I've seen
done
is
so much, but yeah, I can't really think of everything he's done. Like hold
Death
on.
of the Flower Moon was amazing.
Let's look this up.
While he's looking that up,
IMDb.
I think his auteurness is the realness of the shot, or like the rules of the shot. It's like he very much follows the 1/3,
Yeah.
like the framing. He's very what's the word for that? You know, where you're like
to the book.
yeah, to the book.
Like just very precise, I guess, in
Yeah.
the rules. Like he just follows the rules to the T, and
and it's beautiful.
it's and
And it's
it-
beautiful.
like you said.
Shutter Island.
oh,
Okay, Shutter Island, Taxi Driver,
Oh,
Goodfellas.
that's right.
That's a fantastic movie.
That's
Shark
also-
Tale.
Let's
no
go.
way.
You did Shark
That's
Tale?
why
Wow.
we knew that was a good
actually,
movie,
yeah.
dude.
So I think he was the producer
Robert De Niro's
for
in it.
Maestro. I haven't seen it, but I've heard really good things about it.
Yeah, and Brad got nominated for nothing.
Aviator.
Oh man,
Amazing movie.
I think he's just, honestly, you can tell it's Scorsese because it's gonna, it's amazing story. Like
Yeah.
it's just there. Everything.
Uncut Gems.
No
I
way.
hated that movie. I hated that movie.
I don't think he was an executive producer for it.
Oh,
I
so
don't think he
just was
directed.
bringing
Yeah.
money.
Crazy.
Yeah, Scorsese's
Mhm.
pretty wild. You know another one? Nolan.
Christopher Nolan.
Too many.
Boy,
Yes. Wow. I think
Talk
he
about
actually
a perfect
has
streak.
he has some of my a lot of my favorite movies.
I think most
Like,
people could say that.
Inception is
Interstellar.
great. Interstellar.
The Batman series.
The Batman.
Have you seen Prestige
It
yet?
shaped it. The Batman series shaped my childhood.
Yeah.
Superman.
I have not seen The Prestige.
That was him too.
Man of Steel.
Oh.
Man of Steel.
Oh.
Yeah, that was Man of Steel.
Oh, he's
yeah.
just a producer.
Oh, he's
Christopher
just a
Nolan
producer?
is. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He produces for DC. Like he pitches money.
But what else? What was after Inception? Was it Interstellar?
Interstellar, yeah.
I feel like there's a movie before then.
Inception.
It was probably a Batman.
Dunkirk.
I think it might have just been the Batman series.
Because Batman, the third one was 2013. So.
Yeah, that
It
sounds
had to have
right.
been.
Yeah,
Or
okay. I'm
2012.
pretty sure it was. Yeah.
Because Inception's 2011.
But yeah, Christopher Nolan, dude,
Also a very precise man. Like,
very precise. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree.
and time. He messes with time like
Oh, yeah.
no other, dude. He's very confusing.
I mean, he really messes with a lot of I think the quantum mechanics and quantum physics and
Science.
metaphysics.
Yeah.
Where Inception is more metaphysical.
Yeah.
It's
almost spiritual.
he messes with a lot of just interesting concepts, right?
Yeah.
Where Interstellar is time and space and time
Space,
travel.
yeah.
Inception is a lot of just the mind itself, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like Batman is almost an extension of that of resolve.
Yeah.
It's very interesting concepts.
He has really deep, but it comes down to one word. The whole movie comes down to one word, like you said, resolve or time or the mind. And
the
it's
mind. It's
it's really weird. I've never thought about Nolan that way.
Batman was a mind and fear thing. The first one.
I feel like he really explores
Knight.
the concepts, right?
Yeah.
Where it's
Just the
yeah.
5 words he chose about the movie, and then that's it.
Yeah, no, I mean that's kind of what I think of him. It's just he explores a very I don't want to say controversial concept, but something where it's very grandiose. I think is the word for those concepts, right?
Relatable.
Yeah,
It's relatable. It's
Yeah.
It comes down to the person.
I think Inception was I think really 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 just so well done.
Don't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling.
Well, it's the dude. I love Tom Hardy, bro. And I also love that a lot of these auteurs have their own crew.
Their crews,
their
yeah.
crew, right? Cillian Murphy, Tom Hardy, Christian Bale,
yeah.
Hugh
for
Nolan,
Jackman.
it's I love that they
Scorsese's
have their
got
crew.
Leonardo, Margot Robbie, Bradley Cooper.
I want to say De Niro.
Yeah, De Niro is
Yeah.
one of.
Oh.
We'll get to Jordan Peele, and then I'll say that quote.
But yeah, dude, I think that's how I would describe Nolan is he just explores wild concepts.
Yeah,
that.
and it's noticed.
I
very
think he's one of my top favorite auteurs
Yeah,
for sure.
He has to be. I mean, he's the Godfather.
And speaking of, I think I've told you this. My favorite auteur, I think, is Wes Anderson.
That's your all-time
Oh, yeah.
favorite.
I think for now,
Yeah,
I just
I think
because
he's the most noticeable.
I think I'm the most left-brained. Is it right-brained? Left-brained, logical.
You're left-brained.
I'm left-brained. I'm the most left-brained of us three.
Maybe it's the opposite. I don't know.
I'm the most logical of the
Yeah.
three. I'm the more.
Numbers.
Yeah, more numbers and logistics. That's where I fit more closest to. And the way Wes Anderson does everything, it's very precise, very
It's probably measured.
on a metronome, right?
Yeah,
very flat, very saturated. It just
it gets you.
boom,
Yeah, Wes
right in the
Anderson.
kiss. Yeah, Wes
Pow.
Anderson.
Well, he
in the
also
kiss.
does timing in all of his movies. If you listen,
Yeah.
to
Right,
it
the
instead of
metronome,
tempo
right? Yeah.
and
Yeah, the-
everything. Yeah,
And
So-
I feel a lot of the times that you can almost that he does put
Yeah.
clocks into it,
Yeah.
the ticking. It's click.
Well, it's like
click,
a play.
click.
It's
Exactly.
literally a play. It's I have
and a play
an hour
is
49 to
what
get
is
this
play
whole story done.
led with music.
Yeah.
What's leading it is music in the background, and there's different tempos that are changing. So
Yeah.
he literally
and the
just took that.
key goes even farther and does his camera movements with the sounds and
Yeah.
the tempo of the film. Yeah.
Genius.
So yeah, I think I really appreciate that. I think
Yeah.
that's
It's super choreographed.
For now,
the entire
yeah.
team is
everything
choreographed.
is choreographed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
The whole
everything
movie
has to
is
be
done
everything is
before it's
timed.
even
Everything
filmed.
has its
Yeah.
is cue. There's a
Yeah.
cue for everything.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that.
No, and he's Been around for a while.
And he started a new series.
It's amazing. You should
and
watch
on Netflix.
Oh, I haven't
where
seen
it's like little short, like they're like 15
minutes,
to 30 minutes,
Oh.
and it's very short.
It's good.
Like they're stories loosely based on real events or real people, and like they're just really good.
Did you watch The French Dispatch?
Yeah.
You know how it's like a bunch of
Cumberbatch's-
different stories
I
together?
remember. I think I started watching it.
They
Yeah.
split up like stories like that, where it's
Yeah.
just like really detailed.
There's a
little moments.
Benjamin Cumberbatch one that he did. That was the first one I watched.
Is it Benjamin?
Were they all released? I
What's
feel like
Benjamin Cumberbatch?
I feel like I binge watched
Right?
them all real quick.
It's Tom. No,
Doctor Strange?
what's his name again?
I thought it was Benjamin Cumberbatch.
I think it's Cumberbatch.
Cumberbatch. My bad.
Is it name? Is it
Cumberbatch.
Benjamin?
It-
That's
I'm
throwing
pretty
me
sure.
off.
Hold on.
That is throwing me off hardcore.
That sounds familiar, Benjamin part.
Is it Batch though? Because now I feel like a fool with my pants on the ground.
What is your name?
Do you remember that from American Idol?
Oh,
No.
There is a
Oh, pants on the ground.
Yeah.
Pants on the ground.
looking like a fool with my pants
on the ground. Oh my gosh.
Benedict.
Benedict.
Gosh,
Okay,
Benjamin.
Benjamin.
I'm like,
I was on the
I
Ben.
was like, that is not.
I am so
right.
sorry, Benedict. I am
Ah,
so sorry.
man.
But Benedict Cumberbatch, he's one of the short stories that Anderson does, and
It's good.
I mean, he's
Really
a great
good.
actor already. And with Anderson, like it was just such a cool like short story. They tell everything. Like it's really cool.
It's good.
If you haven't watched it, you should watch it.
I think I did binge watch. Is there a previous season?
I don't
Sounds
know.
No,
so
no.
Like it
familiar.
was like a little
It's
like
not
run
brand
of
new, is it?
short stories, basically.
Is it like
It's
super
on
brand new?
Netflix. I know that.
Within the last year and a half.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then I've
It's
seen
Yeah.
them.
It's good.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
They're really good. And then on the contrast of Wes Anderson,
Timber.
we have Tim Burton, who's also very play-esque, very theatrical in that sense, right?
Yeah, even the
Um,
music and everything.
But with the color being on the complete opposite, right? He completely contrasts the saturation and vibrancy of Wes Anderson and
more
is
blue.
more blue, dark, very
Yeah.
shadow.
No warmth, really.
I mean,
Was
yeah,
Tim
exactly.
Burton around before Wes Anderson too, though. Like, 'cause
I
was
think
in
he
the
started
80s 'cause
before.
He had Johnny Depp.
He
and-
might have, yeah.
Johnny Depp and Edward Scissorhands.
Edward
Yeah, yeah.
Scissorhands.
Wes Anderson's been around for a while. I would say
Yeah.
at least 90s.
But I think even Tim Burton was
He's definitely 80s.
animating
Yeah.
before that.
Yeah,
even.
yeah.
Yeah, he probably was.
Because
Christmas Story.
yeah, A
That's
Nightmare
like-
Before Christmas.
that's
That's,
early
that's
Oh
yeah.
yeah, that one.
But like I feel like Edward Scissorhands was probably one of his first ones for
Yeah.
sure.
80s.
I'm not
probably,
sure if
early
anything was
90s.
before that.
I don't know.
I'd
I'm
have
not
to look it up.
I don't go too
I-
deep into Timber.
I like him a lot. I've watched a lot of his stuff.
Yeah, he's good.
Mhm.
It's very out there, and I think it's like I think his style is more bringing art to a film,
Mhm.
and like the piece that he's focusing on is the art.
Yeah.
You know, like his drawings or whatever. It's like very focused on
Yeah.
the way that he sees things.
Mhm.
It's almost the Dr. Seuss of them.
Yeah, the
Well,
kind of
I
dark
like
Dr.
the-
think-
Seuss.
Yeah, the
I don't know
dark
if it was
Dr.
you that
Seuss.
told me, but it was basically like his films and what he's done is basically to show how much of like an outcast he felt growing up.
Yeah.
I think was that you that told me?
It wasn't me, but that sounds.
No, but I mean,
yeah.
I think I heard it somewhere. I don't remember if I read it or if someone told me, but it was basically to show how uncomfortable and how much of an outcast he felt while he was growing up. I might be wrong. I might just be.
It makes sense though if you think
but-
about like every character he's written about.
Yeah,
that
they're
none
all
of
lonely.
them fit in.
They're very
They're
like eccentric,
all- yeah.
very out there. Yeah.
like even Jack Skellington, he's like looking for a bigger and different
Mhm.
world than
Edward
Well, even with, yeah,
Scissorhands.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's
that's
like
the
a
most
normal
ex- yeah.
person in a backwards world, right?
Yeah.
So it's always an outcast and just very.
There you go.
Did he do James and the Giant Peach?
He did.
Tim?
Yeah.
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 I love
Outcast
that
kid.
movie.
Outcast kid, yeah.
Yeah.
And Jack Skellington, Edward Scissorhands, Frankenweenie. He did The Corpse Bride.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is
Um,
actually just one long story,
Yeah,
which is crazy.
That's like-
Coraline.
he did Coraline.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Coraline.
exactly. Yeah, no,
That's
he,
an
like,
adaptation too. That's
Mhm.
great job by him. That's
yeah,
a creepy
Tim
movie.
Tim
dude.
Burton's really good too.
That scared me. when I was a
Claymation
kid.
used to
Really?
scare
It's
me
I
when
mean,
I was a
dude,
kid too,
yeah,
dude. I
Tim-
was like,
that's his whole thing. It's like very creepy, very dark, very.
It's real.
yeah.
It's just real. It's gross.
No,
It
yeah,
is real
he's
little
also
clay
really
pi-
good.
little
Yeah.
clay figures moving.
And I'd say so. We've talked about the history. What are the new ones?
Wait, no, we have two more. Spielberg and Lucas.
Oh,
They're in the 80s.
Okay, well, Lucas,
and
I would
90s.
say 70s, 80s. He
So we
kind of
kind of
created that
paired
sci-fi.
Everyone got paired
Right.
with their style
Every
or what
time.
they
Okay,
did.
yeah. So
Spielberg and Lucas, they actually work together, like on most of their stuff.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like
yeah.
Jurassic Park, Star Wars,
They're
Indiana
more
Jones.
sci-fi,
Indiana.
Yeah,
and I mean,
Indiana.
you can tell that they're like sci-fi,
Yeah. Like
That's like-
taking science farther than it actually is.
and that's their
That is
style.
sci-fi.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
I mean, what
mean,
came first? Was
Spielberg's
it
done
Star
it.
Trek or Star Wars?
Star
Trek, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Star
so
Trek was
like
60s.
I feel like 2001 Space Odyssey and Star Trek kind of
66.
well, like I feel like that
Yeah.
influenced them
Oh,
into
for sure.
like everything that
Well,
they
now we
kinda-
know Dune influenced Lucas as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Big time.
I mean,
Big
I'm sure
time.
everyone knew, but
well, we
yeah.
talked about it on the Dune episode.
Yeah, it's
There's
there's 16 different correlations
Dude,
that are like exact.
Star Wars
yeah.
is literally like carbon copy of Dune.
Yeah, except when you read the carbon copy, and like some of the numbers get
Yeah.
messed up, and you're like, yeah, this will work.
Yeah.
this will work.
Yeah. Copy my homework, but don't
But
make it
doesn't
obvious.
Dune- Yeah, don't make it
It's like-
obvious.
what happens in Dune, like the third and fourth book? It gets a little weird. Like,
Well, the third book is the second book's Messiah, and it's 12 years after, and he's like
Like,
been
it's
ruling
super
the universe.
weird into like sci-fi.
yeah,
Like, super
like the weird part of
Three
it.
is where it gets really weird.
Humans get turned into giant worms.
Well, no, he does it on purpose.
Well, I know, but
Yeah.
like, that's what I'm saying. Like people turn into giant
Yeah.
worms.
Well, he's not giant. He's a pretty small-sized worm compared to like the planetary worms. Like he sits in a throne room, and I'd say he's like twice the size as the Baron.
Okay, the Baron kind of like foreshadows that.
Mm-hmm.
That's like
They're
in
Harkonnen.
these, right? So
Yeah.
and is it? Do you have to be Harkonnen to
To what?
become a worm?
No. So he's Benny Gesserit. So basically, like he got worm juice before he was born.
Right. Can anyone turn into a worm if they have enough worm juice?
I don't think so. You have to have like a certain mind power unlocked.
How
Okay.
many molecules of worm juice make you
Yeah. What
turn
are the
into a-
midi-chlorians of these worms?
You have to match your
The
body weight in worm
milliliters.
So
juice a day.
again, I'm just asking because I'm curious and I
It's
just need to
deep.
read these fucking books.
It's deep.
I'm on like page 6. I was like, this is
I'm on
heavy.
page
I
6.
told you, bro. I told you.
No, so I normally start a book and I'll read like, 40, 50 pages. I'm like, okay, this is sick. I got 6
is
pages
easy.
deep. I'm like, this is rough.
Yeah.
it's
So
it's
what
a
happened
lot
on
of
the last
information. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to flip back.
No, I got like 6 pages deep and I'm like, okay, I know exactly what scene this is in the movie. Like I
Yeah.
could like see it happening
And you
in
have
the
a
movie.
character to put
Yeah,
to, which is
exactly. So
super
it's
cool.
nice. But I was like, this is heavy. I'm gonna take
Takes a
a quick
while.
break.
Yeah, it takes a while, dude.
It's been 3 days since
It took
I
me
read.
6 months to read that book.
Yeah. No, it's we'll see how we get there.
Yeah, it'll take you some time. So we have some new auteurs.
New auteurs.
These are predictions as well. I think that
These
this
are-
is
yeah.
the advanced
this
level
is all speculation.
viewing where it's like, okay, you're seeing their trends at a very like molecular level. at that point.
Especially because one of them only has 3 films out so
Yeah.
far, and I'm sure he's gonna.
Well,
make-
Ari Aster only has like 3 to 5 out
Okay.
as well.
Yeah.
So
So the first one being
Ari Aster.
the
Ari
second
Aster.
one being Jordan Peele, I think, has a style.
Yeah. He just
Now-
has a way. His films just have a way about them. You know.
Tell a story. Too.
In just
Yeah.
like the connection of everything though is
Deeper than you thought.
unreal.
Yeah.
And like even every frame has something that's telling you about what's coming. Like
Yeah.
the more that I watch his movies, it's like he's been telling us the whole time.
It's a lot of foreshadowing.
Yeah.
That's the whole movie is just foreshadowing.
He tells you
and
everything right
yeah.
up front, and then you watch it, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I should have seen that."
Yeah.
But the other thing about his is the parallel and the duality of
Yeah.
the stories that he uses. So there's always like some weird scene he cuts to that just has like direct parallel to what the character's going through,
Mhm.
especially in Nope.
And that's the one I haven't seen quite yet.
Oh,
quite
man.
yet.
So what's cool is the parallel of his story is the parallel that he's using is actually just from the past.
Okay.
But
And I remember you mentioned there's like 3 parallels almost in Nope.
Yeah,
If I'm not
there's 3
mistaken.
main characters. so
Right.
it's- Yeah, you'll see.
I'll see. Yeah.
He's also a beautiful cinematographer. His day for nights, unreal.
Right. He just shoots in the day for
Everything.
yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Brilliant.
But he does it so well. Like
Do you know it takes a certain camera to do it as well as he does? Like they use
Really?
infrared shooting.
No shit.
Yeah, there's like a style, and it basically you have to use 3 different layers, and it's like there's an infrared. This is very basic knowledge. I only read an article, but it's got like the normal day, then you get like an infrared layer, and then you get a negative layer, and then you combine them, and then you basically like color grade it from there.
Interesting.
Yeah,
let's try.
Yeah, we'll just give it a quick try.
Well, I mean, it reminds me of just like the bracketing shooting for.
Yeah, but your camera has to be recording those all
right,
three at
right.
the same time.
And that's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah,
right? So
it's
like
like
it reminds me of the same concept of you're just different contrasts.
Yeah.
But
all
with different heat signatures almost.
Yeah.
Right. Is kind of like.
It's out there. It's out there.
It's kind of wild. How did he figure that out?
I don't know if it was him. They used it in Dune as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could be just new tech.
Greg,
But that's just like wild to like.
I think it is.
Like whoever figured that out, like that's just wild to be able to think that way. Where it's like, I wonder if this would work.
Yeah.
And you
And
just
then it
try
does.
something new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how Hollywood was made, baby.
Yeah.
The blue screen turned
Well, that's
into
true.
green
It's really just
screen, turned
innovation,
into-
right? Just trying
Yeah.
new things
Yeah.
and pushing the envelope. Learn the rules so you can break them.
Exactly.
That's what happens is they break them and turn into
And
new rules.
And I guess that's
Yeah.
that's interesting. You can't. There's no just one way to break a rule. You can break it in a lot of different ways.
Well, I think the last and as of right now, my favorite auteur, Denny.
Denny.
He has pushed the limits cinematically.
Yeah. So yeah, Denny's been doing a really good job, and I've only seen a few of his movies, but
He's the auteur of cinema, like creating cinema. Like if you think about it, like all those other auteurs do a great job. They very much follow the rules. They have beautiful films, but like I think that Denny's auteurness, he tells great stories, first of all, but it's like the cinema of it. Like he's got Blade Runner, Dune 1 and 2, Sicario, Prisoners, Arrival. Like these are all insanely cinematic movies.
yeah.
Like there is not a single shot where you're like,
That's
there
true.
wasn't 110% effort put into that shot.
I think I would compare him to Nolan in that sense.
Yeah. I agree. I think he's a lot softer though.
Yeah, but I like with how like I guess like just like similar styles and what they're
his
doing.
shots are big. Like
Yeah, like
bigger
they're
than
like
life. you
yeah,
know, bigger than life.
bigger than life. That's a really good way to
Yeah.
put it. Yeah, actually.
And that's what it is. It literally is just bigger than life. Like you can't, there's no way to collect something that big.
I feel like Denny's like almost like filling the shoes of Nolan.
No,
that, like,
it's not done. He ain't done.
Just like no, in like the sense of like just being better is like what I'm saying. Is
Yeah.
like he explores those wild concepts.
Yeah, deep.
Yeah, like just very deep, like grandiose concepts. It's kind of
Yeah.
like, and that's why you said bigger than life. Like that's
That's
why like
perfect.
I think both of that's the pair right there, Nolan and Denny.
You know they're buddies. They've been doing a podcast together.
I
dude.
wonder
Okay,
why.
so that's wild. Yeah, no,
They've been
so
doing a podcast. Dude, it's hilarious. And he's French, and Christopher Nolan is British. Like-
so they're like neighbors.
Yes,
they're neighbors.
But listening to them talk, dude, is hilarious. I'll have to send you the link. It's
Okay,
really
okay.
good.
What's
see
do you know
that.
what's the name of it?
I don't even know.
Okay,
it
yeah, just
came
send me the
across
link
it,
then.
Yeah, I just came across like this 3-episode thing, and I was like, I'll be here.
Don't disturb me.
Yeah. Helena, go find something to do.
Okay. Any other new auteurs you can think of?
I mean, if we, what I was saying to you earlier is like, if you continue to create a list, every like director has a style,
Right. Well, yeah,
or something
yeah.
that they do.
But I guess like what everyone has their own style, but when you become an auteur, it's super easily recognizable to the general public because once you become a lot more experienced in watching films and being able to see what the normal person
Deciphering
doesn't
what
exactly,
yeah.
then you can see everyone's style. But to the general public, that's what an
kind
auteur
of the
is,
list.
right?
I mean, you could get into like M. Night Shyamalan, or
oh yeah,
you could get
yeah.
into like James Wan, or what's his freaking name? I'm gonna blank on it. There's literally like 10, 15 directors that are like very much noticeable, but not to the general public.
Yeah.
You know,
But all speculation.
James
'cause
Gunn.
James
That's another
Gunn.
one. He could be.
Yeah,
It's
he-
very
exactly,
noticeable,
yeah.
Like for me at least, like, oh, this is a James Gunn film. Like this is well told, and the camera work is wild.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's definitely one. Ben Stiller, another one. If you didn't show a scene
Interesting.
with Ben Stiller in there, I think I could still recognize a Ben Stiller film.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about like, well, yeah, it's an Adam Sandler movie. It's like, well, yeah, Adam Sandler is the main character
in it. But his definitely are.
Oh, this is definitely Happy Gilmore.
Terrific.
Or Happy Madison. Is it Happy Madison?
Movie. Happy Madison.
Happy Madison. So yeah, terrific.
Yeah, Adam Sandler movie.
For sure, bro.
But yeah, there's a ton out there, but I think on the refined list.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a little run through of auteurism. Some of our favorite auteurs out there, you know.
Yeah, they're the best.
They're the best.
You know how to become the best auteur?
I do.
Stay weird.
Weirdly, weirdly artistic. Weirdly, weirdly artistic.
Damn, that's weird.